Hello, this is a message to Dr. Mahathir. I very happy that you win in the new election for 2018. I'm a Malaysian national. This is my passport. Yeah. So I suffer also for the corruption, and I hear you fight against corruption. So I ask you for help because nobody want to help me. I'm live in Europe for 6 years as a refugee. This is my refugee passport. I'm fleeing from corruption in Johor Bahru. The police try to kill me. They actually set up the traps, try to kill me. I don't know how to make it short.
I say shortly something to that. When I met Lily in Singapore, I found out that she was being economically exploited. I found out she regularly collapsed. She had severe health problems and she was abused. All her money was confiscated. Um, I still didn't know how bad the situation was. At a certain moment, certain individuals basically tried to sell her.
Yeah, for 30,000 Singapore dollars.
Yeah, they tried to sell her, and I said, "What?" We were good friends. At a later time, I was witness to the fact that corrupt police, with the help of criminals, grabbed her by her neck and slammed her head against the fence.
Yeah.
They had their hands on their holsters, and they were actually telling me that they were going to shoot me dead if I would intervene. They stole all her belongings. They stole all my belongings. I, I pleaded with them to not do that. I was lucky to survive that. And later, while I was in the Netherlands, I still received phone calls from a corrupt police department demanding payoff, payoff amounts so that she wouldn't get tortured or killed in Malaysia.
Yeah,
That is the calls that I received, and this is how the corruption, as far as I'm concerned, how deep it went under Barisan Nasional, right?
Yeah, we suffer for because of this corruption.
And nobody wanted to help. We tried to talk to some police chief. They didn't take it
No,
serious.
at all, no.
For 6 years, we tried to ask help from a specific consulate. We were ridiculed.
Yeah.
So when corruption was running rampant in Kuala Lumpur under Mr. What's his name?
Najib.
Najib, yeah. Rizak Najib, corruption went all the way down to from the roots to the tree. It was terrible. And now we saw you win the election, and we are so happy.
We're so happy, and I see it's a possibility for me to go home because
Lily wants to return to Malaysia.
Yeah.
She's Malaysian. She's Bumi Putra Melanau from Sarawak.
From
And-
Borneo, yeah.
From Borneo, and the thing that they did was they messed with her paperwork. They changed data. They changed even her race.
Yeah.
They changed her from Chinese, Melanau, Dutch background. They just changed it to that
So-
suddenly she became a Malay,
yeah.
which is ridiculous because you can tell she isn't a Malay. There's a lot of backstory to this, and now Lily is hoping, very much hoping, with this message to you, Honourable Dr. Mahathir.
And we want to take this opportunity to go home, you know, and yeah, I really want to go home.
And we ask for help from now the new government in Malaysia that Lily can obtain the correct paperwork and that the people that did this will be dealt with. An investigation will be put in because she was essentially victim of human trafficking in Johor Bahru. And I've been basically functioning as her bodyguard. Yeah?
Yeah,
In
you are my
translation,
best friend also.
best friend for 6 years.
Yeah.
And unfortunately in Europe as well, many times she was told to get lost, go back to where she came from.
And I'm not welcome here in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say that as a European, and she's praying that she can go back to her country. I will try as well, obviously, to accompany her. I hope to accompany her. Yeah. And the only way that we can do that is in a safe environment where the people responsible will be taken to account. Yeah. So
That is our hope to go home because we live in Europe for 6 years, And I see in your speech you have mentioned that you against corruption, and also you have mentioned that you want to have a Malaysian that full of dignity, you know, like follow the rule and constitution.
Yeah. And Lily always talked with great respect about you, and we've had a lot of conversation about this Najib Rizak character, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's my personal opinion, belongs in jail. What he has done and the consequences of his corruption, because the corruption trickled down all the way
Go
from
down
Kuala
below,
Lumpur,
yeah.
that caused human trafficking
Yeah.
and assaults and blackmailing.
And literally the police tried to set up attempted murder against me in Johor Bahru. That's when seven policemen just watching that the violence against me.
They
They
beat.
just watching
She has
and
she,
doing nothing.
Yeah, she has partially lost vision in one of her eyes. They
So-
beat the crap out of her, and I still have cell phones with messages on it, where they were telling me in 10 different ways how they were going to kill me, cut my throat, and cut me to pieces, and of the people responsible. So I don't want to go into too much detail.
Yeah.
So I guess we really wanted to congratulate Dr. Mahathir and
The party, yeah.
yeah, that used to be
Pakatan.
the opposition, Pakatan, that are now the ruling party, and we really pray and hope for a smooth transition without Najib pulling some kind of dictatorial military maneuvers, which will lead to a lot of death if he tries, and that then that corruption there is dealt with.
This, yeah, the corruption of it is terrible. Yeah.
Okay.
That,
Thank
that's
you
it,
very
yeah,
much
yeah.
for listening. So if any Malaysian sees this, has any contact to the new government officials that are going to cleaning up corruption, right? I think Lily wants to very much come home.
Yeah. I want to come home. You also. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for watching this, and I hope our wish can be true.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.